I know.
Weird. Hi, welcome back to the Always Right podcast, where
It's 'cause I
something
did this.
always seems to go awry. I am author Carissa DeLay, and this is
Jamie Vendera. So is it the Always Right podcast, or should we call it the Always Awry podcast?
the Always Awry podcast because something is
Yeah.
going awry.
I know. I have fun every time I meet you because we conceptualized this idea like 5 or 6 years ago. We've
Yeah.
been talking about this forever, and it's just, of course, COVID hit, so it kind of threw everything off, and now we're going. It's funny. You'll text me in the morning or the night before, like, here's a bunch of topics. And what'd you say? So, well, you didn't even look at my topics. I'm like, that's okay. We fly off the cuff. So,
Yeah, well, some of them that do require a little research, but some of them we've experienced, so they're just pure experience. We already know what to give. Like, you know.
So, side note for the squirrels that come through here, I must need to trim my beard because you'll see me do this whole podcast. No, I'm not on drugs. They're too fuzzy. They're tickling my nose. It's driving me nuts.
Dr. Daltrey sent you some of that mushroom coffee.
Oh, is that what that was? I should not have I thought it was regular coffee. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Doc. It's going to be a crazy one. All right. So what are we covering today? Let me get off my nose hairs. All right.
Today we are going to try to talk about social media presence as an author.
Okay.
But before we start, can I just say that my morning has been extremely chaotic. And so when this podcast started like that, I was expecting it. I got scammed on Facebook.
What? Not say that.
Why? We're going to talk about social media.
No, we got to talk about this for a minute. What happened? What did you do?
Why is it my fault?
Because you responded to somebody and they either said, hey, I'm holding your friend hostage, or hey, I need this, or it's Facebook community standards, or we're shutting down Always Right. I get that crap all the time.
Yeah. Or someone's like, you're stealing my podcast now.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Anyways. So there was this post on on the local military Facebook page where, you know, people, they're like moving sale, like people, when they get to go overseas, sometimes you can't take everything.
Yeah.
You either put it in storage or you sell it. And they had a bunch of stuff for sale, like front porch furniture, like really nice stuff. And there was this one egg chair, and one of my daughters has wanted an egg chair for years, but they're like $400. And this one looked really nice. And you could look around the house. You're like, oh, everything looks really well taken care of in this house. Okay. And it had been you could see freshly vacuumed. So like you could tell they're trying to move. And so I private messaged them like, how much for the chair? They're like, you know, $150. And I did a little negotiating and I got it down to $100. And so they're like, yeah, can you need it delivered or picked up? I'm like, I'll pick it up. You're at Hulbert. It's right like 30 minutes from me, if even that. And they're like, yeah, we take deposits to hold. So I'm like, $50, here's your deposit. As soon as the deposit was there, I'm like, okay, is noon okay tomorrow? Crickets. And I'm like, oh, well, they must be working. They maybe work the night shift. Gave them the benefit of the doubt. This morning, I went on there to ask for the address so I could pick it up this afternoon. No longer on Facebook.
Yeah.
No longer on Messenger.
You're lucky. Here's how I deal with it. I mean, I sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace just because we're trying to clean out the house. And I get that stuff all the time. Hey, well, can you meet me in Columbus? Hey, do you take PayPal? Do you take Zelle? Can you do this? I'm bold, blunt, and I don't care. I'm like, here's my time, cash only. I'm not taking a deposit. I'm not paying you to deposit if I want to buy something. I don't deal with that because I don't trust anyone. I had a student. I won't get into it, but her parents just got scammed big time. I mean, serious money. And I'm like, oh. And I had a friend and his mother got scammed out of $6,000. It's the world we live in. And I made those Harry Potter posts because I was at Ironton Wizard Fest. And the most comments I ever have on my Jamie Vendera page, it's all lovely. Oh, can you reach out to me? Can you friend me? I block every one of them. So, side note, since we are talking about social media, I am going to give you a tip. Because you do want to start an author page, so I guess we should get talking about this. And now I used to have the business app, the business suite, but they've kind of changed it. So now you can be in your main Facebook app, and I switch over to Jamie Vendera, my fan page, and if they're, come on, load. Of course, we're having stupid internet trouble this morning. But you hit if you have a post, there's the 3 little dots, and mine's not going to load, but you can hit that, and it'll say who can comment. I highly suggest that you put official followers. Don't leave it open, especially if you're tagging. I think what happened with me, since I was tagging Harry Potter, Chris Rankin was there, Percy Weasley, and Josh Herdman, Goyle. So tagging them, and then bam, that's what they're looking for. So it's all these fake profiles, and then they're messaging me by the dozens. Don't do it. Don't even deal with it. Don't respond.
Yeah.
So now you don't want to start a Facebook page.
You do.
Yes, you do. You do.
That's it. That's important. So we want to talk about social media presence. Some people are terrible at social media. I mean, some people can run some people can run a business, and the thing I find is when someone has their personal page, and I kind of help some businesses back in Ohio with, hey, when I was the president of the downtown committee, I would go to businesses and say, hey, I want to help you get your social media presence a little bit better and make your page not a personal page. And my friend Jenny Massey was excellent with understanding this, and she taught me a lot, so therefore I could help others as well. I mean, she was a very, she had a marketing company, but she was a very useful tool for me as well as a friend to show me the importance of that personal fan page versus that your personal page. You know what I mean? If you have a personal page and you're running your business on it, you can't interact, and the algorithms are not going to find you as a business. They're going to find you as a person. So you're not going to have a bigger audience. You're going to find, like this morning, my husband said, when you're posting, because I didn't do hashtags, and he was like, he questioned me as though, did you not know about hashtags?
Do you have any great people?
He wasn't meaning it like that, but I know he was kind of filling it out. Like, you do the hashtag thing? And I'm like, it took me a minute because my morning was already kind of weird, but I dumped coffee. I made my coffee, this whole thing filled up
with hashtags.
Huh?
No, never mind.
It was filled with hashtags. This thing was filled up, and it I was trying to open something and I hit it. This thing went all over my oven, all over my counter.
I thought you said it went over your computer.
No. So my old app, that's why this is way over here. My other laptop, the trackpad on the laptop doesn't work on my Apple. You have to use the isolated trackpad to get it to work because I spilled coffee on it.
Yes, that's why I have a lid.
Yeah. Back to Dylan talking about hashtags this morning.
Yes, our local hashtags expert.
Yes, I told him that the algorithms are a little different now with AI.
Yeah.
Because you can post something and your content itself, it will know what you're saying, use those keywords to put it out to people who are looking for that or talking about it or even thinking that, I guess.
Yeah, so I still use hashtags, and it's always changing. Like on Instagram, if I would use the hashtag vocal range, and then if you do it in every single post, it doesn't really benefit you. You always got to be thinking outside the box.
The benefit of a hashtag is not to get it to your audience. It is beneficial for somebody who is seeking your content.
Absolutely.
And doesn't know your content exists. So, for example, I will sometimes put out there podcast, TikTok podcaster, podcasters of Instagram. You put all these hashtags, and you don't have to do it all the time. You just do it randomly. You can if you want, but the thing
I didn't this morning. I did one on glass breaking with a little video I did because I'm it's just for my audience. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. That's what we do here. So the key with hashtags is for search words that people will look for. So when you're on Instagram and you're like, what are people going to search? People are going to look up Wizard Fest glass breaker, but they might look up wizard. They might look up Wizard Fest. They might look up glass. So you have to break those hashtags down. Yep. So if you're writing a book, so let's go with Crystal Gate. Okay. People aren't going to look up hashtag Crystal Gate. You're going to see that only maybe like 3 people ever posted something like that. So that means you're not going to get a lot of people searching that either.
But you need to break them. You're too young to remember this, but it was called The Electric Company. It was one of those shows on back in the 70s for kids, and they would be like, like Crystal Gate, Crystal Gate. They would have 2 words like speed, way, speedway, and then they put the words together. 2 people.
Oh,
My mind, my
creating
swirly
compound
80.
words.
Yes, compound words. So
Oh
that's
my
what I
gosh.
saw in my head. Crystal Gate, Crystal Gate. Oh, I'm such
Yeah,
a ADHD dork.
that's
So,
okay.
but no, some of this you're telling me because I didn't know that about. I mean, I know how crazy AI is getting,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we'll do another topic on this because everyone's like, write your book in 13 minutes with AI.
Yes, we'll talk
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
Yeah,
be
on
original.
another, yeah, one of the other episodes, we're going to get into some AI and ghostwriting, and the do's, the don'ts, the maybes, the won'ts, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but starting out, you definitely got to have a presence, and there's so many social, like we have what Threads, we got X, we got TikTok, we got Instagram, we got Facebook. We are a new podcast, so we don't have a lot of followers, but what we do have are quality followers. I know I'm more in, even though I'm an author, and I'm just as big a part of this. I'm also big in the coaching world. I've been around forever. I've written tons of books. The best-selling book, Raise Your Voice. I've been on these television shows, taught all over the world. Don't have a lot of followers, but I got quality followers. I see some
Mhm.
coaches, and it's the same with authors that have 100,000 followers or more. Does that mean that they are a better author or a better coach than you? No. For one, I'm not in competition with anyone else. I'm in competition with myself. But what I see is authors, coaches, and everyone doing every video in the world that they can because that's how you develop followers. So I applaud them for that. And good videos doesn't mean they're always quality content.
Mhm.
So even when you're starting out doing this, don't freak out. Be like, oh, I've only got 30 followers. I don't understand. Focus on quality content because those 30 followers could be 30 fans for life. They could be buying your
Right.
product again. So,
Those
and
could
then
be
that could,
30 people that buy your book or buy your song or buy your content or your, whatever, or subscribe to your next podcast because you started a nonfiction book and now you're going to take that time. Those people, you don't want just numbers. Remember back in the day, it would be like, they would do research. I think it was I distinctly remember Justin Bieber having like all these followers on social media, and then they started looking into it, and a lot of them were bots.
yes, that's been
You
around.
could
I mean,
buy bots. So what? You got
all
bots. Who
all
cares?
the record companies did that.
Yeah.
I
You just
had a friend, and I'll be flat out honest with this. They when Instagram started, when I finally got on it, I had a friend, and he meant well, but he was into all this like marketing, and I hired him. He says, I'm going to get you at least 30,000 followers. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm like, is this legit? He said, yeah. No, it wasn't legit. So I had maybe 1,500. Next thing I know, I had 30,000. And then, luckily, and I'm happy that they did this. Instagram started scrubbing accounts. This is 10 years ago or whenever it was.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, I only had 2,000. But I'm like, whoo, I don't want bots. I would never want to buy bots. And if I would have known that was a situation, because back then it was like, oh, yeah, this is how you do it. The record companies are doing it. And I didn't know that because I asked him, like, what is the deal here? Oh, well, okay. And I'm like, yeah. So don't do that. At the end of the day, even if you had 1,000 followers that you worked really hard for, but they
Mhm.
loved your content, that is so much better than having 100,000 followers. So you'd be like, look at me. The only good thing about that as if you did want to get endorsements and you wanted to get paid to promote other products.
Right.
Having a bigger following will, if that's where you want to go. I totally understand, and we
Oh yeah,
do want that
I'm
many
not against
followers.
you want followers. I'm not saying that. You
Yeah,
want people to follow your stuff. But if you have 1,000 followers and 900 of them are bots, 900 bots are not going to buy your book.
correct. But if you
900
have a
bots are
thousand,
not going to listen to your music. 900 bots are
it
not going to follow your content to make it engaging. They're just going to be there as a number, not as an interaction.
correct. So don't go that route. And at the end of the day, I would rather have 1,000 true fans of my content than having even 50,000 followers and hardly nobody is really a fan.
Right.
So I've never been into seeking fame. Maybe it was I was spoiled because all the stuff I did was really before the social networking really took off. But our goal still is, again, to have followers, but quality followers.
So what I want, I'm pulling up my phone here. I'm gonna go onto my author page. Jamie, bring up do you have your phone there, or are you? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
So,
want?
well, I have here on mine, you can see I'm logged into the Always Right so right here it's showing me who I'm logged in as. And this is in the little downward. I'm not sure if Android phones are the same, but I know that this is how it is on my Apple. That you down here you have a little icon. This you're posting as this thing, because it's very important once you set up your page to know if you're posting as your personal page or if you're posting as
Oh,
your
absolutely.
author, because your content needs to be, if you want to get on your personal page and you want to yell at the school board in your local community or the mayor or whatever, or the chamber of
That's cool.
commerce, it's like selling your Christmas lights, whatever, you need to do that on your personal page. Give your opinions, your thoughts on your personal page, but still tread lightly because people may follow you there. Or
Yeah.
make it private to where only your personal people can be on there. But when you go to your fan page that represents your book, don't put your personal opinions out there. Put your content, put your I'm writing, or which I use this as my author system when I'm doing my I have it hooked up to my Instagram, so sometimes posts will filter over, and then I have to go back and say
Yep.
that's not supposed to be on there. And on your social media page, when you create a fan page, also only follow things that pertain to your author stuff. Don't be an author that follows I'm trying to think, like Chick-fil-A. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a random thing, I'm just like, make that your personal follow that. But like as an author, only follow maybe things that pertain to your writing as an author, you're a separate entity when you do that. So that way your feed is things you want to see, like writers groups that you're in, other authors that you like, movies that you like that have to do with like came from a book or whatever. These are just suggestions. I'm not saying you can't do whatever, but I'm just saying when you overload your author page, it's going to get kind of mudded with your personal page. But
Yeah,
like,
I don't even. I mean, I'm the same way. I do that. But I don't even follow my feed on the author page. And I don't know if you're like. Well, yeah, you just said that. I have Instagram and Facebook connected, so then
yeah,
you can watch. Like, you can post one place and it can filter to the other
right.
if you choose to do so. And I'm surprised they don't have threads. Like I'm on. So I'm not in Facebook. You went to Facebook and you flipped over to your author page. I'm in the business suite, and I usually post from
So
there.
I use the business suite typically a lot whenever I'm posting for Vendera, for like when I'm doing multiple posts. So when I'm in behind the scenes for Vendera and I'm posting, I can go into the business suite on my laptop. I can create an ad for an author or a post, and I can post it on Instagram and on Facebook, and like have them either be individually state something different or all together and schedule them, do it that time. Like I have more options on my laptop than I would in my because I have Business Suite on here, but the options are not as good when you're in your app
They're
on your phone.
not. Yeah,
No,
they're not even as good if you go over to Facebook. Like I was saying, where I had to go in and filter and say, "Hey, only people can comment or people who legitimately follow me." They don't give you that option in the business suite.
right.
But the work of an author is never done. I mean, again,
Mm-mm.
Threads, X, Facebook,
And then
Instagram, TikTok.
yeah. So in the beginning, you're gonna try and do it yourself. Do it yourself. Like I still do it myself. But down the road, if you get super busy, you may want to have someone else do stuff for you. There are people out there that are capable of making posts for you. Like that's what they do. Like, hey, we'll give you 30 posts a month for X amount of dollars, or we'll do 10, or we'll do like at least 2 posts a week for you. There are people that are out there doing social media marketing for businesses. They'll
Yep.
say. And so a lot of times you just send them a bunch of pictures, or you tell them about your book, or you tell them blah blah blah, and then they can post. That's kind of
Yeah,
like,
and if you
go ahead.
go ahead, you go ahead.
Well, with our authors, if the authors want me to, we have a lot of authors, but if the authors want me to push them, I need them to kind of give me info on their books. I don't have the time to read everybody's books. That wasn't my, that's, when they came
Yep.
on, that was a whole different ballgame. I'm here just to help publish the ad content. So occasionally I'll just throw an author on there and put their stuff out there. But unless I get like in-depth information, it's very hard to push someone's content. So that's where, if you are an author and you're with a publishing company and you tag your publishing company will typically share it, plus they'll make their own stuff. Like if Katie or Catherine Horsley, if she posts something, I can share it from Vendera, or I can even share it as my own author page, because networking, authors sharing authors, not only are you sharing the author to your page, but that author sees it, their fans see that you shared it, and you're pushing your boundaries more.
Yeah, and you can even do that like in Instagram as a collaborator. So a lot of times you'll go to post something, but instead of tagging me, you add me as a collaborator. I view request, I accept it. It appears on both our pages, but the cool thing about that, it's still, they're connected, so the numbers are the same. It isn't like two different videos posted in two different places. So
Right.
you can grow from. So
It's like a family
multiple
tree.
marketing.
Yeah, it's like a family tree, and it's just like it's spreading out when you do that. But it is important to just keep in mind to post that stuff, because I run my author page. I think I have 6 Facebook pages that I run. I have, I think 5 Instagram, maybe 4 TikTok, 3 Threads, 1 Twitter, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And if you look at what you run, you'll notice the aesthetic, the bio picture, the header picture. It's all nice. The font, you're tying it in. So if you're going to create these pages, of course you could go to some place like Fiverr to have a header developed. But I highly suggest, of course, if you start your Instagram, you follow other authors that you admire, but you look at their Instagram page to see how they're laid out, because you do want something professional that leans towards, hey, I am an author. Also, a lot of times you'll do,
Yeah, like
you may not even.
this is our Vendera one. So you can see there's like kind of like we've got our authors on there. We've got like kind of like a bunch of different content. But go ahead.
And you mix it up. You go from reels to videos to pictures. And you got to look at like what's going to pull people in. It could be, especially on TikTok, it could be your name, but you could be the actual name of your TikTok page is the bookworm. If you put I'm Sally Jane, but you're an author, nobody's going to know that. So you're not really. I mean, of course they will with the AI and doing your hashtags, but I've been playing around with that. I don't like what I got right now, but on TikTok it's like Jamie Vendera, but my TikTok is Glass Shattering Vocal Coach. So, and I'm sure I'll change that. Because that's what that'll.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You'll change
go
what?
ahead.
No,
I was going to change the name. It's your turn.
Oh my gosh. No, I was going to say, because when we're talking about aesthetic, Jamie's TikTok was like the green screen and this tiny face of Jamie. I'm like, I can't see this. It's square in the side of a circle. You're going to have to change this because it doesn't even fit. Make sure the picture fits inside the circle.
Yeah, because I didn't really care. But you were right. I need to care. So it truly is about how you look. I was like, I'll just throw this up. But no, you have to have something pertaining to who you are.
Yeah. So one of the things that I want to just quickly cover with social media is when you start your page, be very mindful of your settings. When you go in, because you're going to go in under your personal page and you're going to create a page. Don't make it a business. Make it a fan page. Like sometimes when you make it a business, again, you're creating a whole set of algorithms for Facebook or Instagram or whatever you're doing that they know what your page is. So set up as a fan page. Do you want it to be author Carissa DeLay, or do you want it just to be Jamie Vendera? Do you want it to be your name and then the author? That's Catherine Horsley has Catherine Horsley, the author. Be how you want people to search you. Think about that. Like, how do I want people to find me? But make sure it is a fan page. That is essential. You're not a bookstore. You're not a retailer. Even being a fan page, you can, down the road, you can have the little merchandise thing where people can buy merch from you on your fan page if you decide to have shirts. Or if you can have your books sold on there, you can have the link to where they can go directly and buy them on Amazon or wherever you're wanting to direct them. You can put your website on there. You want it to be a landing page for your fans.
And you may say, I'm a business, and that's true, but you're not a business. If there was a roofing company and they wanted to get more clients, they would do a Facebook page as a business. Mm-hmm. You're a brand. You're marketing yourself. So yes, you're selling something, but you want to grow your fans. You're not out there.
And fan pages and businesses, they have a like button. They have a follow. You know, they have a thing for you to just, you don't have to approve it, essentially. But if you make your stuff a personal page, like author blah blah, and you make it to where people have to friend request you, they're not going to do that. They're not going to wait. That's not how that works. And you're not going to see their content the same. It's a total different, it's a different algorithm on that system. When someone has a professional page, it's something that pushes based on your interests, things that you are seeing. When you're scrolling reels and you're liking cat videos, when you're liking certain like Harry Potter things, when you like things that pertain to books, it's going to say, oh, you may like this author. That's where you get those things from what you're, and you don't even have to like it. You can scroll, and if you pause for a second, it memorizes what you're pausing on, and then it'll put that into your algorithm like, oh, they were interested in this. And then it'll start kicking you things like, you may be interested in this now.
And another thing is if you're an author, but you're also into karate, do not combine that on that page. Like all of my like Facebook and Instagram, to be honest, they're all focused on the coaching and singing and the rock stars that I work with. And I know this is happening, Chris and I will work this out. We're working on a bunch of videos for TikTok and Instagram that I'll be doing, but I doubt I will be putting them on that page. I'll either develop another set of pages that says Jamie Vendera author, or they will go directly through the Vendera Publishing TikTok, and then I can collaborate and share them to mine. But if it gets mixed up, if you have fans following you for singing and all of a sudden they see me talking about all the fiction books I'm writing and how to write the perfect scenario for a book, they're going to unfollow me because a lot of them are like, I'm not into fiction. What's this dude doing? I'm here to learn about singing. So I know it's a lot of work, but if you have many facets of life that you're into, other hobbies, keep them separate, make other pages.
When you're struggling from writer's block.
Yeah, it never happens. I'm always bored.
When you're struggling from writer's block, you can go in and you could start doing some posts and stuff. And here's the key. You do not have to wait for your book to be published before you start your fan page. Start your fan page. Start getting the word out. Working on chapter 17, almost finished with this thing. Can't wait to share it. Or books at the editor. I'm starting covers. Here's the cover. Wanted to put this out. It's coming out. Like, do like that kind of like that launching stuff. So people are already following you before your book is out.
Pre-launch, pre-sale. They do it every day. Yes. So don't wait.
And a lot of authors are very introverted. And here's the thing. Maybe get someone to help you if you don't feel like you can do it. Maybe get someone say, hey, will you help me? You can start a page and be the admin, and you could have someone come in and be an additional admin or an editor or a moderator. They can come in and say, hey, I'm going to help you. I can post as you. That was when I had the salon page. I was very adamant sometimes when the girls, I gave them editing, like moderator type things where they could post their photos and put out there, what they did. They didn't have admin access, but they could do like simple things, they could go on and post as the page with their content. But I'm like, when you do this, you talk in third person. Like, you want to make sure you want it to look as if somebody is behind the scenes running it for that author and not be like saying, I did this or blah, blah, blah. Speak like getting ready to launch this. You don't have to say, I am getting ready to launch this. You can make it as if the entity is putting it out there without a first person perspective. So third person, like, book sale or whatever, make sure that when you're posting, the people, when that read it are reading as if they don't know who's posting.
I need to start doing that. Then I'll walk around and be like, you know what Jamie's going to do today? He'd be like, why are you talking in third person? Huh.
No, that's not what I meant. Like, no, when you're posting. No. So, like, for example, in the salon page, someone would say, I have openings today. Who's I? Because
Exactly.
it has the name
we
of the
have
salon.
openings today. Reach out.
Or you could say, Sarah has openings today. Reach out to her. You know, and it's hard for people to post that, like in a sense, when you're doing social media. But if you are, for example, if you're a writer, and you're writing books, you don't want to put the I behind it unless you feel that your page will always be run by you and no one else. Because sometimes down the road, when your book takes off, you want someone else to run it. They're not going to write it as if like it's a general omniscient point of view when you're trying to post.
Bottom line, you got to start. If you're writing a book, you need to get involved in social media. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I say this out loud to everyone. I honestly, it's funny that I say this. Like, I hate doing videos every day for Instagram, but like my other companies, like Dr. Vox, are on me about it. And you wouldn't think that out of me because I've done so many TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's a lot of work. But it's fun. It's not. It don't have to be overwhelming. If you have an iPhone or an Android, there's simple apps like CapCut, and you can start filming. You don't have to be that. It could be a picture. You could be at a bookstore taking a picture and saying, "Oh, I love this. That's why I'm writing fantasy." Just like Krista said, start posting beforehand so that you start collecting people who are interested in your book. But if you don't, nobody's going to know you exist. So, it's up to you.
Yep, I agree. So that's the basics for social media. You need to get yourself out there. You need to make sure when you're doing it that you're doing as a fan page, and be wary of your content and the things that you're sharing, because it represents you as an author, not as an individual outside of your writing.
Yeah, and if you're still confused, just follow some of your favorite authors on all the different platforms and just kind of view what they're doing and how it looks. Because for one thing, like on TikTok, it's always vertical. A lot of times you'll see horizontal videos on Instagram, but it seems like everyone's going to the vertical format anyways. But, just so you stay consistent for each website that you are using for social media.
Yep. All right.
The mushroom coffee.
We're good. Speaking of social media, you need to follow us on our social media.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on. We want quality followers.
Yes. We are Always Right Podcast on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on Threads. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok. We have Always Right Podcast. ALLWAYSWRITE. Always Right Podcast.
So follow us today. Unless you're a bot, then we don't want you. So stay away.
No bots for us.
Yeah.
And then you can also email us questions, comments, and we'll try to get back to you. The email is alwaysrightpodcast@gmail.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. So if you have questions, comments, like I said, follow us, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Always Right Podcast, and we will talk to you next time. And I am author Carissa DeLay, and as always, my co-host.
I am Jamie Vendera.
Yes. Thanks for listening.